World in the 20th century. The Industrial Revolution, which began in 18th century, had begun to transform the world in many ways. The capitalists invested in factories, and production was increased. This led to increase in their profits. The ruling system, in which production and distribution are controlled by the capitalists with the aim to increase profit, is known as capitalism. Many nations produced more than they needed, and more than they could accommodate in the domestic markets. This production forced them to search for new markets, which led to competition among them. The Europeans had already established a trade relationship with countries in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Using political power and military forces, the European countries economically exploited these nations. During this time, workers in European factories were subjected to many sort of exploitations. Excess working time, low wage rates, unhealthy working conditions, etc. were the characteristics of European factories. Soon, there emerged many trade unions to protest against capitalist exploitation. Constant agitation by the trade unions resulted in increasing their wages. This led to diminishing the profits of the capitalists. Now, the capitalism is in a crisis. They began to venture out new method to increase their profits. So far, European countries had considered the colonies as the source of raw materials and the market for their industrial products. Now, they began to invest capital in colonies. There were many reasons behind this new move. Low wage rates in colonies, availability of raw material, and low cost involved in manufacturing and selling goods in colonies, etc. were the reasons behind this new move. European factory owners began to invest capital in colonies massively. There emerged many industrial units in colonies. But all these new developments were aimed at satisfying the needs of Europeans. A country imposes its political, economic, and cultural dominance on another nation is called imperialism. Colonial powers imposed their dominance using legal system, administrative measures, military forces, etc. Imperialism affected colonies in many ways. The traditional economic system of colonies was destroyed. Administrative and judicial system of colonies were replaced. People in colonies were forced to cultivate cash crops in the place of traditional food crops. Poverty and unemployment in colonies increased. Nature resources of colonies were widely exploited. Indigenous arts, literature, language, culture, and educational system of colonies were destroyed. As the competition and conflicts among the imperialist nation for the colonies and markets increased, the world was slowly moving towards first world